I transmigrated into the body that holds my heart, part 2. It was dark when I opened my eyes again. A dim and soft light pooled from a small lamp in the corner. A figure sat beside me, her upper body slumped on the bed, fast asleep. Her hand that was wrapped around my hand is warm and comforting. This is the woman I saw in the waiting area when my heart was transplanted. I scanned the room. On the couch nearby was a tall man, sleeping. The same man I saw standing in the waiting area. His long legs hung off the arm of the sofa. He looked exhausted. I watched him, quietly noting the faint crease between his brows, even in sleep. What was happening to me? I'm supposed to be dead, right? My own heart was given to someone else. And I'm supposed to be in heaven, or hell, or wherever I should be. Not here, not in the world of the living. Not in this body. I'm so confused, but one thing is for sure. This body, this girl, is the one who received my heart. Suddenly, I heard footsteps outside. Without thinking, I shut my eyes again. I can't deal with more drama right now. My mind was still in pieces. I wasn't ready to face any of it. I heard the door creaked open. A slow, cautious steps padded across the floor. Someone approached my bed quietly, reverently, like walking on sacred ground. A moment later, he sat beside me. I felt a large, calloused hand take mine gently at first, then firmly, as if trying to will warmth into it. His hand trembled. Then, a silent sob. That soft, aching cry the kind people try to bury in their chest so no one hears. But I did. God, your will be done, he whispered, voice low and rough. My daughter has suffered enough. Your will, O Lord. He pressed our joined hands to his forehead, his grip tightening with unspoken desperation. A father's prayer. A plea dressed in surrender. He stayed like that, praying softly over and over. For how long, I wasn't sure. But eventually, his voice faded into breath, and he too drifted to sleep, still sitting, still holding my hand. I opened my eyes slowly this time. I looked at him closely. The man who looked so composed in the waiting area, he cried in secret. And beside me, the woman who hadn't let go of my hand even once. I studied her face in sleep. I didn't know her. But her hand felt like safety. I never had parents. People used to pity me for it, tell me how sad it must be to grow up without a mother or father. But I was always indifferent. How can you miss what you've never had? I never craved a family, never yearned for something I couldn't imagine. So I brushed it off. It never bothered me. But tonight, I felt like the most unfortunate child in the world. And whoever this girl is, the one whose body now houses my soul, she might just be the most fortunate one. While I had no one when my heart was taken from me, she has a full force. I looked on my side, on the window where my reflection can be seen. Who might this young girl be? When the morning comes, transient global amnesia. That's what the doctor called it, and announced in front of the whole family and me. When I say me, I mean the girl who originally owned this body. Apparently, her name is Chrissia May Zana, 19-year-old girl, the youngest child of Christopher and Hazel Zane. Born premature, diagnosed with a congenital heart defect, and declared by doctors unlikely to survive past the age of 10. But money, as it turns out, can do wonders. Her parents' fortune kept her alive this long. She has an older brother, Hansel John Zane, 25 years old. My age, I noted. What a coincidence. The Zanes, one of the richest families in a city. Hotel tycoons. Owners of the most luxurious resorts and skyscrapers money can buy. They're billionaires. Powerful. Influential. I stifled a laugh. A secret, satisfied smirk, curling my lips. Claire would die in jealousy if she saw this. If she found out I got myself a way better, richer family after death. Everyone always said Claire was my best friend, but in truth, she was my favorite enemy. She had panic attacks whenever I got something she couldn't have, and cried happy tears when something bad happened to me. I knew who she was long before everyone else did, and still I kept her close. Why? Because keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. And besides, I liked watching her squirm. And yes, I'm not a heaven candidate. I've got a few dark corners in me, too, who doesn't? But I never deliberately caused anyone pain. I just happened to have more than they did. Now I have even more. Is this a curse? Or a blessing? I don't know. How could this happen, Doctor? Mrs. Zane's voice trembled as she broke the silence. She had a heart surgery, not a head injury, she added. She wasn't wrong, but I kept my mouth shut. Never had that drunken karaoke moment. I couldn't exactly tell them I'm not Chrissy. I wanted to be diagnosed as a delusional psycho and locked away in a padded cell. And besides, this is Cressia's body, her bones, her blood, her face, her name. The doctor nodded patiently. True. but the patient underwent extreme physical and emotional trauma. In some rare cases, patients like her experience a phenomenon called transient global amnesia. She was practically dead when she came in, he added gently. She flatlined on the table. That kind of shock can cause temporary memory loss. Her memories may return slowly or all at once, but for now, what matters most is that her new heart is strong. After a week of observation, I can confidently say the surgery was a success, but we'll still need to be cautious. Then, turning to the couple at my bedside, he added, nonetheless, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Zane. Your daughter is safe now. Chrysia is safe, but Martha is gone. I noted silently. I don't know if I'm supposed to rejoice in this borrowed identity, or grieve, because that's what it is, isn't it? This life is borrowed. I'm living Chrysia's life. Yet, I'm happy. I'm happy when Mrs. Zane feeds me, her hands gentle, her voice full of love. I'm happy when Mr. Zane reads bedtime stories in his deep, calming voice after a long day at work. I'm happy when Hansel tells his corny jokes, just to see me smile. I'm happy when they're all around, and yes, I'm bothered. Sometimes I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering what right I have to be here. But my joy outweighs the guilt. Maybe this is God's last gift to me, a temporary miracle. A few months, maybe a year, in a life filled with love. I don't understand how or why this is happening. Even now, I'm lost. After a month of recovery, I can walk on my own again. My brother just left to return to the company after spending his usual lunch hour with me. My mother is out running Aaron's hospital supplies again. She insists on doing everything herself. She always wants things to be perfect. It's just me and Aunt Lou today. Well, Chrysia's aunt. I know I'm the worst. Sometimes I forget. I think of them as my family. If Chrysia's soul is watching me from somewhere, I'm sure she's furious. But just bear with me, okay? Whether I have days left, or months, every second with them matters to me. I want to savor every second, because I don't know when Chrysia would be back, kick my soul out and reclaim her body. For now, I want to focus on what I have at this moment. Aunt Lou smiled at me when she noticed that I was staring at her. Aunt Lou's twin daughters were the girls in uniform during my surgery. She'd been away on a business trip that day, leaving them to stand in. Aunt Lou is the bubbliest person I've ever met. Now, dear, what do you feel like doing? She asked, her arm looped through mine. Hospital is boring. Want to catch some fresh air? I smiled. I'd love to, but I hesitated. I didn't know if I should ask her this. What is it? She asked. Can we stop somewhere first? Where? We were walking through the hallway toward the adjacent VIP wing. According to my sources, okay, the nurses, he was here. Him? The man I couldn't stop thinking. I'd seen the news. A high-profile businessman, involved in a car accident the same day as my surgery. One quiet question about his name, and the nurses couldn't help but spill everything. His room wasn't far. Just next door. I sighed when I spotted the guards stationed outside the door. Even in a coma, he's guarded, I murmured. Aunt Lou's brow lifted. What do you mean? I gave her a faint smile. She gave me a wickedly amused one in return. The man next door, I said, nodding toward the guards. He's got security. Aunt Lou chuckled. So do you, she said as she pointed out my security team standing outside my door. What? I blinked. They're mine. Of course. Silly girl. I know you've got amnesia, but this is common sense. I stared at her. This is not common, Aunt Lou. You've been guarded since birth, she said, shaking her head with a small laugh. Now, do you want to go in? I nodded, then frantically shook my head, my heart suddenly hammering against my ribs. I don't know this man, but we shared a life and death situation. I felt familiar with him now. Aunt Lou laughed. Don't worry, Bibi. Aunt Lou's got you. She took my hand, warm and steady, and together we approached the guarded door. Stay calm, I whispered to myself. You just had heart surgery. Girl, breathe. When we reached the door, one of the guards gave a respectful bow to Aunt Lou. How is he? She asked. The guard shook his head solemnly. Poor lad, she murmured. Even money can't buy family. I swallowed at Aunt Lou's comment. Tristan Xavier, a billionaire tycoon, heir to the Xavier legacy. He lost his entire family in a plane crash. At 16, he inherited it, all and somehow kept the empire standing. Our families were business rivals, Aunt Lou said. But that doesn't make us enemies, right? She glanced at me and smiled. Can we visit? She asked the guards casually. They looked startled, but didn't refuse. Clearly, Aunt Lou's presence was powerful enough to make hesitation a dangerous choice. Then a voice from behind said, Please, it would be an honor. I turned. The man was a mess rumpled clothes, a cup of coffee in one hand, a sandwich in the other. Exhaustion clung to him like a shadow. A butler, manager, friend. He opened the door for us. And there he was. My thoughts went silent, just blank. I let go of Aunt Lou's hand and stepped inside. Not in a rush, just drawn to him. Even a month after the accident, he still looked fatally injured. I stopped beside his bed, sat gently, and took his hand in mine. My eyes traced his face. Even unconscious, he looked fierce, strong, alone. I exhaled softly, and for a moment, I feel at ease holding his hand. I jumped the moment I felt him grasp my hand. It wasn't my imagination. My eyes blinked rapidly, as if trying to confirm what just happened. Then his eyes slowly opened and stared at mine.